Then why, at the time, Ms. Angle, were you against what Harry Reid was trying to do to keep the MGM Mirage operating as it expanded facilities and prevent it from going into bankruptcy? At the time, you had said that the company should not get any stimulus dollars. Were you not aware that the company did not receive any stimulus money, but that Harry Reid was just phoning lenders on behalf of a big employer in your state?
Well, truly, he was exercising his influence to do a bailout, if you will, of MGM.
You wouldn't have done that?
At the expense of others.
You wouldn't have done that?
No, bailouts don't stimulate the economy. Bailouts, as we've seen, don't do anything for businessmen.
But I understand, ma'am, but this wasn't a bailout, right? This was simply just having its loans extended. No federal money was involved.
No, but it was a bank bailout. He was saying you should lend to this one, but it was at the expense of others. And truly, we saw with the 14% unemployment that it didn't influence anything as far as the job market. What it did do was the same thing as shifting the chairs on the deck of a Titanic. What you need is an outside force that will actually give confidence in a market to businessmen who have really been holding back. We know they have $2 trillion that they'd be willing to invest if they had more confidence.
I understand that. Then part of a job of the senator, the way it's deemed, and we could argue this point, is to protect big employers in your state. Now, obviously, MGM Mirage is a very big employer, if not the biggest in your fine state. So you, as senator, if you were duly elected, wouldn't do that? You wouldn't be doing everything possible to keep that big employer employing people?
Well, certainly the job of government is to create a climate where every employer can create jobs. And there were no jobs created, really. It was just a shifting of jobs from one business to another. So at the expense of some big business, he was willing to play favorites with another big business. And that's not really what we're supposed to be about. We're supposed to be about giving that climate for businesses to provide full-time, permanent employment.
So you draw the line as to how much you'd go to bat for a big employer, regardless of how big they are in your state, right?
Well, truly, there's no such thing in America as too big to fail. Harry Reid thinks he's too big to fail, but I think he's failed already in his policies, and this is just one of them. Stimulus, bailout, Obamacare, all of those have been failures, and we can see that in what we're now standing on the precipice of what may become a double-dip recession.